If you've been going to the gym for a little while, but you're just not seeing the results that you actually want to see from your training, and you probably thought to yourself, I either thought I'd put more muscle on by now, I would look better, I'd be stronger, and at least I'd be a little bit fitter. And if none of those things have happened, it could just be because of this one simple mistake that you make and a lot of other people make. And my inspiration for making today's video actually comes from a conversation that I had with a client the other day. You see, I'm an online coach, so I help people with programs. They do their workouts on their own, they video themselves, I give them feedback reviews, and they a lot of the time use an app to be able to check things off as they're going through their program. Well, the other day my client Pam said to me that the gym owner at the gym that they were going to came up to her and they said, "What are you doing so long between sets?" And she said, "Well, I'm resting." And he said to her, "You should only be resting for 30 seconds, which, is a whole topic in of its own. But it just made me realize that I had to have this whole conversation with my client about why he was wrong and why actually if you rest too little, you won't see much progress at the gym, because you need to be lifting heavy enough, or you need to be doing exercises that are challenging enough that you need a little bit longer rest. And if you're always resting 30 seconds, 20 seconds, then chances are what you're doing isn't that challenging at all." And I thought to myself, what's the best way that I could show you and demonstrate this to you? So I'm going to use chin-ups to explain my point. So the first thing we need to know about me is that I'm pretty good at chin-ups. At my best, I could do 25 strict pull-ups. That means a full lockout and a full bringing of my chin over the bar. Right now, I'm not in my prime anymore. I've gotten a little bit older. I know I look young, but I'm 36 now, so looking at retirement homes by now, it's a joke. So I probably have 12 or 15 in me right now. I've just come back from jiu-jitsu, so I'm a little bit tired, but 12 or 15 is probably what I can do. Now, I'm gonna rest 30 seconds after I do a set, and I want you to see what happens to my second set. And that will in itself explain to you why you need a longer rest between your sets. All right, let's check this out. I'm gonna face this way so you can see every single rep. We're gonna try and aim for 12 to 15. It's right on the money, 15. All right, we're now gonna rest exactly 30 seconds, and I want you to notice what's gonna happen on my next set. That was hard. And also, that was cold. You gotta give it to me. 15 strict chin-ups, being cold, that's a decent effort. All right, 5 seconds. Let's give this a go. All right, so as you can see, I could only get 3.5 reps, I can't even remember, which tells you two things. One, if I did rest 30 seconds between my sets, then chances are I'm working below my actual capacity, because my capacity was around that 12 to 15 rep mark. If I wanted to improve and challenge my muscles, ideally I would rest long enough that I could repeat that effort. Sorry, I'm so out of breath. That was hard. And now this idea that I just demonstrated applies to all your exercises. You should be doing things that look as challenging as that, and you need to rest long enough so that you can repeat those efforts for 2 or 3 sets. Now, I know that I'm not a bodybuilder, it's not what I train for, but the same principle applies. Now, this doesn't really just apply to your hypertrophy training. This also applies to your anaerobic efforts if you're trying to get fitter. This applies to your sprints. This applies to anything that's really challenging. That's pretty much just not aerobic. So anything you're doing in the gym that isn't like slow, steady cardio, you're gonna need decent rest chunks. And the more challenging what it is that the more challenging what you're doing is, the longer the rest is gonna be. You say, if you were a power lifter or you were lifting really heavy weights, they don't just challenge your muscles, but they challenge your nervous system, then chances are you're gonna need even longer rest. Like I used to be a powerlifter when I was younger, and when I was trying to like get to my PB deadlift, which was 250 kilos, I remember for that training program, I was resting like 3 to 7 minutes between these sets, because every single set of deadlifts was like 211 kilo deadlifts, 233 kilo deadlifts, 242 kilo deadlifts, like they were heavy. So to get to that weight, first of all, it took ages in warming up. And then, like between every set, psychologically it was challenging, but physically it was very challenging. So you needed really long breaks to recover for that. My point in this video is, if you want to see more results in your gym, chances are you need to be resting a little bit longer. Now, you might not need to rest like 3 to 7 minutes, but at a minimum, make sure you're resting at least 90 seconds, which is the same thing I told my client Pam, which is why she was resting at the time. And if you have a gym owner or a PT or a coach that's telling you that you only need to rest 30 seconds between efforts, I'd say get a different coach. If you're the kind of person who needs help with your training, you need accountability, I've got a link below for my coaching waitlist. You can apply for it there. I'll send you details and we can chat to see if we're a good fit to working together. And if you're the kind of person who just enjoys training and you're struggling with your nutrition, then you should check out this video here, because I go through how I helped my client lose 40 kilos over 18 months.